Yes, my mother told me from being a teenager, you need to be a nurse. You need to be a nurse. And, I won't say every day, but she often tells me how proud she is. And I knew that would be right for you, even on my hard days. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have so many hard days. The great days are much more in numbers. But, every now you have a bad day. And she just keeps encouraging me. So thank God for my mother, really. Yes. She put me on the right path.
Welcome to Locala Podcast, everybody. I'm Lisa Anderson, your host and publisher of Locala Magazine. We're continuing on with our June 2023 issue of podcast interviews for that particular issue of the magazine. And we're bringing back the callbacks from way back when we started. And boy, do we have one for you today. Tamara Dillon is here. She is a cath lab nurse. And she'll probably say it much faster and better than I just did. But she was in our July 2021 issue for Everyday Heroes. And we talked a lot about what happened during her time in 2020 because she had just started off in her nursing career at that point. So I'm excited to hear more about what she's been up to in the last couple of years. And let's head on over to her right now. So hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome back. So we were just chit-chatting before we got started, and you were telling me that you have had a wonderful work-life balance now. So
yes.
What has changed since July 2021?
Lots of things have happened. I went from being a brand new nurse to then being invited to be an assistant nurse manager.
Oh, wow.
I naturally gravitated towards leadership. I still do, and took it head on. Interim manager for a while of that same unit, which I really enjoyed, but I lost balance with my family, and I worked 60 to 80 hours a week. I picked up a job teaching with Rasmussen University as a clinical instructor.
Wow.
And oh my gosh, I loved it. I loved the education part of it coming from being a previous teacher.
Yeah.
So it was like hitting back to my roots, which was fantastic, but still serving the community.
Oh, that's great.
Until November, I started with the cardiac cath lab.
Okay.
Hours were so much conducive to family time.
Yeah.
So now, instead of doing long 12 to 13, 14-hour shifts overnight and then trying to teach on day shifts some days, I am centered more. It is a almost 8 to 5 job, 5 days a week.
Okay.
And I'm home in time to make dinner or have dinner with the family. And we're off most weekends.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to be able to spend time with my family. And that was why I wanted to be a nurse, just to serve the community and be with my family. But I was serving the community, but not
being with the family as much. Yeah, nursing, that's hard, especially, I mean, you got your degree right when let's just say it, all hell broke loose.
It did, and it was rough, and it played very hard on my heart.
Yeah.
And I took it a lot home, or I took it home with my family, and we had so many deaths.
Yeah.
And it played such a heavy toll. I needed something brighter.
Yeah.
I love taking care of people. So now I can do it in different ways. So as a cardiac cath lab nurse, I'm now there for you if you have chest pain.
Okay.
And the doctor says, let's take a look. Let's take some pictures of your heart. So I'm there, and it's one-on-one. I have one patient at a time.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I work with a team. The doctor's always there.
Yeah.
And it's very supportive. So if you need fixed, we can fix you.
Yeah.
And then you have emergencies where you're on call and you get called in the middle of the night because somebody's having a heart attack. And how life-changing that I get to be a part of that. So it's very fulfilling, but the balance that I needed is there, and it's happy. It's like people are happy to be fixed and to see how their heart is doing. And it's amazing compared to where I was at before, where we were helping people, but they were so sick, it was hard to see the positive of things. So I feel so much more energized and much more down to myself and normal that I can help people. Yeah.
You seem very relaxed, you know?
I feel so much brighter.
Yeah.
I have so much energy. And that is what's huge for me, that I went from, I'd be off, but I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I was just sucked of all my energy. It was so low.
Yeah.
And then I get to something that is enlightening. I have my family. Yeah. I'm able to eat right because I'm sleeping better.
Yep.
And it's amazing how life changes when you can set boundaries with work and with yourself and know what you need and make yourself a priority, which is something that's been hard but so healthy for me.
Yeah. Well, and you had just bought in a home, too.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
That was big.
It was. Yeah. You worked really hard for that and stuff. And how are your boys doing?
Fantastic. Yeah. Great kids. One is 15 and thinks he knows everything. Yeah.
As we all did at that age.
Yeah. He is a freshman at Vanguard, which is where I went, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that is really cool.
And Isaac is 12 and, again, thinks he knows everything.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to survive the teenagehood of raising boys.
Are they eating you out of house or home, too? Are they falling into that category?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's... Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're great, though. Smart, intelligent. Yeah. I am very lucky and blessed that I don't have to stay on them. They're very independent. Yeah. So I don't have to get them up in the morning. If they want to cook, they know how to cook, which is great.
That is fantastic.
And I just love it. They do their homework. I don't have to beg. They're just independent. Yeah. And I hear stories from other parents, and they're like, oh, it's so hard to get my kid to do their homework, or it's so hard to get them up in the morning. And I don't know that struggle.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So,
you guys, you did some homeschooling, too. Yeah.
I think that helps because you have to be independent. Yeah. It's independent learning. I'm there to guide them. My job as a homeschool mom was to teach them to love to learn. Yeah. Because if you love to learn, you're gonna learn on your own. Yeah. And that's what it was. It was a guidance. I don't even know if it was a teach. I was a teacher, but I guided them in what they really wanted to learn, and it's incredible. It's just really amazing. I feel very lucky.
Oh, cool.
I love my family. And now, which is even cooler, my partner, my fiance, for 6 years now, finished nursing school as well.
Oh, that's really cool. So, when did he start that?
Oh, my gosh. He started not long after I did.
Okay.
And he finished, and he's been working in the OR now. So he's an OR nurse.
Oh, wow.
And it's amazing. We completely get procedural care, which is really cool.
That is really cool.
Now the kids are like, oh my gosh, we have 2 nurses.
Yeah.
So now if anything gets hurt, it's okay. You know, when kids fall and they get hurt and, oh my gosh, it's bleeding. You'll be okay. You don't need to go to the doctor. You got a mom for a nurse and a stepdad, so we're good. We're covered. So they kind of hate that because we don't baby them. Yeah. But, unless it's broke, we ain't worried about it.
Yeah. There you go. Well, is he able to get most weekends off like you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. He is actually working this weekend. He's on call. So with them, if they have cases to do, emergent surgeries, then he goes in, and that's where he's been at today.
Okay.
So most weekends we're off. We're having a blast. We're doing family time. And when the kids are with their dad, it is him and mine date time. Yeah. So we date all weekend long. Aww. And it's so great to reconnect. Yeah. Work is tough, but it's fulfilling. But for us, it was reconnecting every weekend just for him and I. Yeah. So we love that.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So we talked a lot about your work as a nurse in the last article and stuff. So let's dive into a little bit more of who Tamara is. Okay. Where did you said you went to Vanguard, so did you grow up in the Locala area?
Yes. This is my hometown community. Born and raised. Yeah. I absolutely love it here. It was very important. You have a lot of people who are raised here, and they're like, oh, Cala's such a small town. Slocala. Yeah. That's what it was nicknamed when I was growing up. I don't think it's that slow. I think
not anymore.
We have an amazing art district. We have so many cultural things here. Yeah. It's a matter of finding what brings you joy.
Yes.
And for me, I love that we have so many activities to do. But in all honesty, the core of it is that my parents are here. And I didn't have that strong grandparents, growing up. So for me, it was giving my children something I didn't have. Yeah. I can make money. I can do all these things for them, but you can't buy grandparents. No. So it was really important for me to stay close to home, make the best of it. I love it. And I have my grandparents right here, or their grandparents, I should say. Yeah. I have a mom, my stepdad, and my dad here. So I have a very strong network. I have a very strong tribe
that's
that really
cool.
makes everything better.
Yeah.
So we're here. We love Ocala. I don't want to go anywhere else. Don't get me wrong. I want to travel. I want to go out and see the world. But here is home. It's always been home.
Yeah.
I went to Oak Crest Elementary, Fort King Middle, and graduated in Vanguard in 1998. And I think it's really cool that my kid goes there now. I love it. I love it.
That's really cool. Now, Isaac is in school as well. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. He goes to Howard, and he's doing great. He's in their magnet program, and smart little cookie.
Yeah.
More than he should be, probably. Kids.
Well, he must get it from his mom.
I hope so. I mean, that's what I say. I say he gets his good looks and his, smartness from me.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, you don't live, if I remember correctly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't live too far away from your parents, or was that prior to buying your house?
Prior to buying the house, I lived across the street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
like super close.
Yeah.
And even when we searched for a home, it had to be within a certain parameters of being close to my parents.
Sure.
They're getting elderly. God forbid anything happen. But I want to be able to be close.
Yeah.
So we live 12 minutes from them. It's not bad. Not
that's
bad at
cool.
all. We're still on
No.
the same side of town.
Yeah.
And I love it. It makes it nice. If they go to the store, hey, we're going to come by. Or when I'm on my way home from work, hey, I'd like to come by and visit.
Yeah.
So we see each other every day. We talk every day. It's just keeping that bond that I didn't have growing up. So I really want it to be there for my kids.
Yeah.
And
I think that's really cool. My grandparents were the same way. They lived a little further away, but it was, hey, we're out for a Sunday drive. We're going to stop by and we're going to, do that kind of fun stuff. And then they were on my way home. And so when I was driving, I'd often stop in at the farm and see them, and stuff.
It really helps.
It really does.
It keeps those bonds together. Just because you're grown doesn't mean you still don't need your mama.
That's right.
So I'm still very close.
I talk to my mama every weekend,
Yes,
and we text all through the week.
Yes. My mom actually came and had lunch with me yesterday at work.
How fun.
And she hadn't done that before. So I loved it. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Nice little uplift to the day. So
yeah.
Family's everything.
So what have you seen as far as changes? I talk to people that have grown up here, and I like to kind of see how you watch the town grow. Yeah.
My explanation to people is like, oh, Ocala's so small. And I'm like, no. You have to understand. When I was in middle school, way back when, my parents, it was hard to get them to go to the mall because the mall was edge of town. The Paddock Mall, right?
Yeah, that was edge town.
And to go to Sam's Club was, that was really out there. And that was the edge. That was the edge. After that, you fall off. So for me to try to have people understand, oh my gosh, do you know what's out there now?
Yeah.
Do you know? Have you been out there? And it's amazing how much Ocala has grown.
Yeah.
Even my mom now still is like, I don't want to go out to 200. It's too far. It's so busy. But it's always been that way. And it's just gotten bigger. And I don't know, it's spread out,
Yeah.
But I still think the center is downtown. That is where it's happening.
It is.
All the best little local eateries and the best little bars, and you have music going all the time.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I was at the Love It Amp series yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's so much out there. You just have to go get it.
Yeah. Becky Sin opened for that one, didn't she?
Yes. Becky Baby. Yes.
Becky Baby. Yes. Sorry. She rebranded.
I saw it. Yeah. And I was like, that wasn't her before.
No.
It's still the same person. Beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I had the best time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever make it to any of the local galleries around?
I haven't. I want to. I want to so much. And it's hard when I don't know anybody else in that arena. It's different when somebody says, hey, I'm going to be over here. Why don't you join?
Yeah.
And I have a hard time not knowing and then kind of feeling kind of shy.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're talking to another introvert right here. And
that's the thing. Like, I want to go, but I don't know. I need to have a buddy the first time at least.
Yeah.
And then once you feel a little warm and schmoozy in there, then you can go on your own.
Then you can go whenever. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll be braver.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll see. If you see Tamara out and about, then we know.
Yeah,
she's
I'm getting
braved
braver.
that.
Yes. It's hard to go places where you don't know people.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. What was it like for you teaching? How long did you teach at Rasmussen?
Almost a year's worth of clinicals. So a couple semesters. It was so good.
Yeah.
There are so many bright future nurses. and to see them care for people and want that, I want to be a part of it. And it was really good because just like when I was in Rasmussen as a nursing student, you get the theory, you get the foundation, but it's really your clinical instructors that really get you through your skills. And they really show you how to put the puzzle together. You can learn in a book all day, but really putting it together with a patient in front of you and understanding their diagnosis and how it works with their body, plus their social determinants, it makes a huge difference. It's really provides that whole care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you planning on ever going back to teaching, do you think?
I keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, especially at that level, isn't it kind of like set schedules that way, too, to have that work-life balance?
Yeah. It's a thought, for sure.
Yeah.
Future-wise, I would like to work on my master's so that I can teach and be more foundational, but still be that clinical instructor, at least with that mind frame of doing it.
Yeah.
Because everything's not learned in a book.
True.
As much as it would be nice, a lot of it is experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it is. So tell me a little bit about what your future plans are now and what your, other than your master's, looking at your master's. I'd like to do that.
I'd love to get my master's. Education's important. And it would be nice. As far as education, I'm the only one in my family that has a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
And I think that was huge.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that's setting generational tone for future.
Absolutely.
So I love that. And
it sounds like your kids are on the path to kind of doing that. Yeah.
And even if they don't go to college, I'm okay. But I think education's important. They can't take it away from you. No one. It can't ever be taken. So I think that's really important.
Yeah. And I love being able to go back to school as an adult.
You have a much more appreciation for it.
You do, and you get to choose what you want to do.
Yeah, what you want to learn, essentially, what your goal is, and what everything.
Yeah.
It's so much different than sitting in a classroom like my children do, which, it's public school. You got to do it.
You got to do it. Get through it.
They have to get through these classes whether they're interested in it or not.
Yeah.
So college and further education as an adult is a whole game changer.
It is.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've recently gone back for a certificate in marketing just because. Let's add more skill to.
Why not?
Why not? Why not do it? So what else have you guys been up to? I mean, tell me what you do on the off hours. That's so fun because we talked a little bit about it. You guys take a little bit family trips. And
yes, we like the theme parks.
Yeah.
So a couple years ago, we did Universal. We did everything Universal. Yeah. Now we're on to SeaWorld and Busch Gardens and everything that they offer. Theme parks are exhausting. It's hot generally, but it's so much fun. It's thrilling, exhilarating for the rides. My 12-year-old finally loves coasters. So it was usually him sitting out, and now he's all for it, which is pretty fun.
Oh, that's cool. That makes
it's even
fun.
better. Yeah, because now all four of us can enjoy.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I'm usually the sitting out.
Well, that's okay.
That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just so much better for us.
Yeah.
I would sit out with them. And now we can all do it together, and it's fun. Yeah.
How fun. I took my, I went with my stepsister when she was 9 or 10 years old, and we did Tower of Terror. That was the only time I've ever done Tower of Terror. And the picture, the picture that they take of you, it's me hiding underneath my little sister.
Oh my gosh.
Me in my late 20s hiding under my little 10-year-old stepsister. Terror for me. I'm not so I was right there with your son.
That's what he would have done too.
Yeah.
So now it's great. He loves it. We love going to the local lake. There's Four Lake out in the forest.
Yeah.
I grew up there every weekend of the summer.
Oh, did you?
So I don't do that with my kids, but I want them to have the same kind of memories.
Yeah.
So we did that recently. We do everything we can together, movies, drive-ins, whatever we can do that we all enjoy, because that's important. You don't want anybody to be unhappy.
That's right. Yeah.
So we do things together that makes us all happy.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really, there's 4 of you, so that's pretty good to be able to try to find things.
It's hard, but for some reason, we are nailing it. We are just nailing it. And
that's amazing.
I'm telling you, everything just feels so right. Everything is good. Yeah. And then you got to wonder why. What's going to happen? There's that one part of you.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah. You just feel so much lighter and,
yes.
Especially since the last time we really talked like this.
I was so I felt great as in I was helping people, but I was so pulled down with the care that I was giving.
Yeah. You're very empathic too, I think. And that, and I think you need that for nursing.
You have to be at some point. You have to be compassionate. Yeah. But it was almost overtaking everything.
Yeah.
I don't think I got burnout. I was upset that we could not give the level of care that I really felt like everybody deserved.
Yeah.
We had so many restrictions on people who could come and who couldn't. And to have people just die without people there for them, but being that person for them, it just took everything. Gosh. And then COVID is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
I would say we have some cases here and there, but it's not like it was. Mm-hmm. I think people are out living life again, and that makes me happy just to see things coming back to life. And I don't know, I feel the same way. I feel like I've come back to life and start anew, feeling great.
Yeah. So what are some things that you told the students that you taught as they headed into their new adventures?
Oh, gosh. A lot of times they want to look at their book, and you can't. Or the chart. You look at a patient's chart. Mm-hmm. That does not, it tells you information, but that's not what you're going to garner from them. You need to go talk to the patient.
Yeah.
So I found a lot of students in their previous clinical experiences would spend the day looking at paperwork, looking through the chart, looking through the paperwork, identifying blood work, what their laboratory work looked like, okay, what their x-rays look like. I'm sorry, but that's not where your answers are. It's a part of the answer. It's a part of that puzzle that each patient is.
Yeah.
But you really can't do anything with it until you go talk to your patient.
Right.
And then it was like minds were open. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that they knew that, but nobody or maybe enough people hadn't said that to them.
Yeah.
So they would come to me and I have this patient, and they would name off a list of symptoms, name off a list of chronic conditions and their lab work. Okay, well, what did you get from the patient? Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen the patient yet. And it was, okay, turn back around, go talk to your patient, sit down in the room with them and talk to them.
Yeah.
And it was different for them. They, book smart.
Yeah.
But you really have to be able to talk to people. Nursing is not just looking at charts. You have to be able to communicate with people. Nursing is hugely on communication.
Yes.
So that was important.
Especially when charts are going from person to person and who's writing the notes and, and are they writing something that, if they're not writing something that you might have seen and that when that person is talking to you.
And it can depend on if you're talking to them in the morning or in the evening. Mm-hmm. People change. We have sundowning. Yeah. Oh my gosh, and that's huge. So if you see them in the morning, they're going to look perfectly cognitive and functioning. Mm-hmm. You can see them in the evening, and it's a whole different story.
Right.
So it was really important for the students to see people, talk to people, and not just reading a chart of conditions.
Yeah.
So that was what I focused on, just seeing the person as a whole person, not their medical chart.
Yeah.
You'll find out when you talk to people that maybe their life is broken at home. Mm-hmm. And we had that. We had, oh my gosh, people who were addicted to drugs, people who had drank too much and had now pancreatitis.
Yeah.
You had people who were smokers, but they also had COPD. What were their barriers? Mm-hmm. So for me, it was talking to them, getting to know them, what's going on at home, especially those who were going through hard family times, couldn't afford the prescriptions. So when you ask, you were just here last month, what brought you back? And it was... a lot of times I couldn't pay for my medication, life-sustaining medication.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to find out the reasons why people are there. Mm-hmm. And that was really important to teach for new students because I think that gets missed a lot.
Yeah.
So healthcare has great things going on. You hear a lot of negative, but if we can teach students out of the gates to talk to people, communicate, then I think we're on a right path.
Yeah, I agree. Well, believe it or not, we're coming near the end of our time already.
Okay.
And so I usually like to ask, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about that I did not ask you?
I was completely nervous about this whole thing. So, I knew you wanted to talk about goals, and we did that. I think we hit all major points. Family is the most important thing to me, and we hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Really impressed.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I told you it was just a conversation.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
You made it easy.
Well,
Thank you.
It's lovely talking with you.
Thank you.
I don't know if people know that we had a history of working together well before I started in the magazine industry. We worked for Cameras with the Cause, it was called, which was a nonprofit.
Oh, that's at my heart, too.
Yeah, and that's what we started with. And then we wound up being on the board together for a while, and so I miss seeing you on a regular basis.
Thank
but
you.
I'm so glad that you're out and still fulfilling, because that was definitely, you could always see your heart there helping
that's why
people
do stuff in the community, usually to fulfill something that they're missing. And I love giving to the community. I love being in it. Yeah. So that was a way to do that. And I don't know. I've always done that. We did Cub Scouts where I took over leadership and did that for a while when my kids were interested. It was always just jumping in where you saw the help that was needed. And I don't know. I still do it where I can.
Yeah. I think it was foretold a while ago that you would be a nurse.
Yes. My mother told me from being a teenager, you need to be a nurse. You need to be a nurse. And, I won't say every day, but she often tells me how proud she is. And I knew that would be right for you, even on my hard days. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have so many hard days. The great days are much more in numbers. But, every now you have a bad day. And she just keeps encouraging me. So thank God for my mother, really. Yes. She put me on the right path.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Tamara.
you.
I really appreciate having you here. And we'll make sure to go ahead and have link in the description to Tamara's original story so you can read that from our July 2021 issue. And we want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Locala podcast. Once again, I'm Lisa Anderson, your host and publisher of Locala magazine, where we focus on connections through stories.
And one of the things I love about our community is just remembering to pause, to breathe, and to be grateful. And the reason why I think about this is when in our travels, there was a moment we were at the airport and I saw this sign, and it was actually had like 3 things that people aren't